So this is my first time vlogging. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm kind of new to this. As you know, last weekend, those of us in Post-Novitiate formation all renewed our simple vows for another year. While we were at that weekend, there was a candidate there. It was his first time visiting us. And I was talking to him. I said, "So, what do you think about the blog?" I realize now that I probably put him on the spot, and I never meant to do that. So I want to apologize to him for doing that. But while we were talking, he told me one of the things he wanted to see on the blog to read about was what our life is like as Capuchin Franciscans. What is our daily life like? And so I thought, well, I'm going to try this. I'm going to talk about what we do. There are already postulants and novices now writing about their lives as well. So I'm going to kind of come from what life is like here at Saint Clare, St. Agnes community, our house of post-novitiate formation. My morning usually begins at 6 o'clock, at least during the weekdays. I'm out the door by 6:30 to get over to the Saint Clare Friary building because that's where we do most of our community activities. Meditation is about 20 or 30 minutes in the morning before 6 o'clock. That's usually a communal meditation. Morning prayer starts at 6. That takes about 15 minutes. That's singing of the Psalms. 3 Psalms, a reading, a scripture reading, a canticle from the Gospels, and that's followed immediately by daily Mass. After daily Mass, that's kind of when we all go our separate ways. We're at 4 or 5 different schools here in this city, and so our schedules are incredibly disparate. We usually don't see a lot of each other unless we're at the same school and in the same class, and that happens in different places. So if we're not at school, we're at ministry. We're each expected to have 8 hours of ministry a week. Myself, I'm teaching ESL again this year, at least one student for about an hour and a half, 2 hours a week. I also hope to be working with the 8th Day Center for Justice this year to really kind of get a taste of what justice, peace, and ecology ministry is like. It's something I need to do. We all come back at the end of the day. We have meditation again at 20 till 6, followed by evening prayer, which is exactly the same as morning prayer. It's a few psalms, scripture reading, intercessions, the gospel canticle, the Magnificat, the prayer of Mary, and that's followed by dinner. Dinner in our community can last an hour or more. That's when we come back together. It's when we share our lives, when we share our community, and after dinner, it takes a while because that's what we do. It's when we see each other. It's when we be a part of our community. After that, we do dishes, and then it's off to do homework, because often, if we're all in school, there's always a lot of homework to get done. I haven't started classes yet myself, but I will soon on Tuesday. So, our weekends are kind of up to our own devices in a lot of ways. There is no community schedule per se. If somebody wants to cook dinner, they can sign in to cook dinner. And they can somebody can sign in to lead prayer those nights, but generally we're expected to go to a parish in the city on Sundays to be part of a parish community. Usually, or not usually, but for me, I like to go to some of the parishes our brothers have here in this city to be present to them. For dinner and prayer, we each take turns cooking and leading prayer. And everybody in the community does that, whether ordained, whether not, simply professed, solemnly professed. Of course, only the priest brothers can say Mass, but that's a big part of our life. Our life really centers around, it hinges on, I guess you could say, morning and evening prayer, and then 2 tables, the table of the Eucharist and then the dinner table. That's where we draw our energy to go out into the world, to be present, to be Christ to other people, to do what we are called to do in God's plan for our lives. It's a lot of work. There are struggles. Community life is not easy at all, but there's a lot of blessings in it, and it really does make the communal life that much easier. That's one of the things you discern when looking at a religious order, is whether or not you can really live in a community. I hope to see some of you at different discernment weekends. Good luck in your discernment. Keep listening to God. Keep listening to what God is asking of you in your life. And I hope to see you around sometime soon. God bless. Peace and good.